If your whole thing and the reason why you're in business is to simply chase money, you're never going to actually achieve anything that is of value. I don't care how much money you're making right now. I don't care if you're at 100K, 200K, 300K per month. I simply do not care. You're never going to reach the truest level that you can ever reach to. And the reason for that is just, let's just say your goal is to become a billionaire. Most people, what they do is when they have a goal like that, the first thing that they'll try and do is, let's just say they're trying to get a certain result. The first thing that they'll try and do is go ahead and take action, because you're like, well, Yusuf, it's very simple. If I'm trying to make this much money per month, if I'm trying to reach this specific goal or this specific milestone, I need to take this specific action. Okay, let me ask you a question. Where does this action come from? Well, you might tell me, well, Yusuf, I just have an idea. I have a thought in my mind that tells me, oh, I should go ahead and take this action. I'm trying to, let's just say, get a better physique. So I have the intuition in my mind to go ahead and go to the gym and then go ahead and get the results of getting a good physique. I'm trying to, let's just say, make more money. So I have the intuition to go ahead and take an action to go ahead and lead me to making more money. So we can write over here that intuition comes before action. Now, let me ask you a question. How come there are certain days that your intuition is literally on point, that all the actions that you're taking just seem to be working out? They seem to be getting you the results that you want. And then other days, the same intuition, the same exact voice seems to be leading you to taking the actions that end up with you getting the wrong results. How come that is the case? How is there this fluctuation? Is our mind intentionally playing a trick on us? Well, no, obviously not. There's nobody here who's like, Yusuf, intentionally, I'm going to go ahead and intentionally take the wrong action so I can get the wrong results. Obviously not. We all want to succeed, right? If you don't want to succeed, there's probably something wrong with you. Everyone who's on this video wants to succeed. And so the thing that you need to understand is that intuition, basically in our mind, it appears as thoughts. We have a thought that we need to do this thing. And so I want you to think of your brain as if it's like a radio. And so essentially your brain is like a radio. And so there's different channels in that radio that then will go ahead and affect your intuition, which will then affect your action and then will affect your result. And so this is why, if let's just say you go ahead and copy the same exact actions as someone in business, and you might have tried this, you might have copied someone's exact video title or their funnel strategy or their copy or their email or this and that, their exact strategy, and you're getting different results. The reason is simply this, is that you aren't on the same channel as that person. And so the reason why you're getting different results, even though you're just listening to your intuition, you're listening to what your logical mind is telling you, hey, like this is the right thing to do, is because essentially there's different channels. So there might be a red channel. So if you failed, sixth grade science, the way radios work is through something called radio waves. So there's waves in the air, and then they travel, and then the radio kind of picks them up. And so maybe there's like a red channel. And so the red channel will lead you to getting red results. And then maybe there is a blue channel. So the blue channel will go ahead and lead you to taking blue actions, which will then lead you to taking blue results. And then maybe there is a green channel. So a green channel will go ahead and lead you to taking green actions, which will then lead you to taking and getting green results. So what is our goal here? Well, our goal here is to go ahead and filter out the channels and get on the right channel. So let's just say that the red channel is you making 10K a month. Let's just say the blue channel is you making 100K a month. And then let's just say the green channel is you making $1 million a month. And so our goal is essentially to get to that green channel. So you might be like, well, okay, well, Yusuf, that's easy. I'm going to just tune myself to the green channel. The issue is that all of these channels, to you, they all look the same. So this is how it looks like. To you, they all just look white. They all just look the same. Because in your mind, all of these thoughts, they all sound the same. There isn't like a devil voice in your mind that's like, yes, take this wrong action and then you'll lose everything and you lose all your clients. There isn't a voice like that. They all just sound like you. So the first step in us essentially being able to choose which of these channels we're tuning our mind, so therefore we're tuning our intuition, what we feel like doing, and therefore our actions, is therefore going to be to understand which of these are we on right now. Because at any given moment, at any given time, your brain is operating on one of these waves. It's in one of these three. Maybe it's even less. So again, extrapolate this to whatever it is that you want. If you want a better physique, it's going to apply to that. If you want a better relationship, better team members, it's going to apply to that. And so anything that you want at any given moment, you're in one of these three colors. So in order for us to choose the color, the first step that we need to do is understand which color are we on. Now, the issue with this, and this is why most people find it extremely hard, because all these channels all look the same, they never have a chance to be aware of it. They just let it all be a random mix of just channels. It's just all noise. And so they live through life essentially by something called drifting. Drifting is when you just let this random mess of noise play through. What you need to instead happen is just have it so it's like this. It's like one channel. It's the one green channel that's always playing. That's what you're kind of trying to get to. And so for us to be able to be aware of which color we're on and which color is actually playing right now through the radio waves, we need to quiet our mind. We need to essentially get all of these guys to go into a lower volume. And the way we do that is through silence. So the easiest way to go ahead and do this is literally, I want you to close your eyes, sit in a comfortable position, and set a timer on your phone for 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes, right? You don't need crazy timers, whatever. Obviously, the more that you do this, you can increase the timers. But essentially, once you've closed your eyes and you're sat still, I want you to basically just let your thoughts run. Just let them run. And I want you just to notice them. I don't want you to react to them. I don't want you to like go ahead and like lose your train of thought. So every time that you get a thought, I want you to kind of think, okay, where did this thought come from? What caused me to start thinking about this thing right now in this current moment? And so the more that you build up this awareness, you'll be able to have this awareness throughout the day. And so the longer that you spend in these periods of essentially meditating, the more aware that you're going to become. And so I can guarantee that a lot of you entrepreneurs right now that are watching my video right now, when you first got started, you had some sort of meditation routine. I know a lot of people have. I know a lot of people are watching the monk mode videos, and in that monk mode videos, everyone's recommending meditation. The reason why everyone was recommending meditation is because of this exact thing. You're able to be aware of which channel you're operating from. And as you made more money, you're like, bro, that doesn't matter. None of this stuff matters. The mindset stuff doesn't matter. Whatever. This is all for beginners. Why do I need this if I'm trying to hit $1 million a month? I'm telling you right now, the reason why I was able to hit 6 figures, 7 figures is because of this mindset stuff. I was only able to make my first 6 figures in profit from consulting, by the way. I just had 4 Zoom calls with one client is because of this stuff. This stuff truly changed my life, and I want to share with you. And if you think this is too woo-woo or you're too good for this stuff, this video is not for you. Please unsubscribe. Now, if you are trying to genuinely change your life, if you're trying to apply the knowledge that billionaires actually use in order to live their dream lifestyle, then this is the thing for you. And I think you're going to find the first link in the description actually very interesting. Now, the second step in order for you to basically tune into the green channel is understand what the green channel actually is. So what the green channel actually is, what it essentially is, it's an identity. And so I want you to think of yourselves. These channels, they're coming from different versions of you. And so each one of these channels is coming from a version of you. So the 10K channel is coming from the version of you who's making 10K a month or is stuck at that level. The version of you who is making 100K a month, it's the blue channel. So it's basically getting out a blue wave, and the green channel is $1 million a month, whatever. And so these waves, essentially, I boil it down to a framework called vibe. Now, I boil this down to a framework. Nobody online, nobody in the manifestation space or the mindset space, no one is going to give you this sort of stuff. And is simplifying it to a step-by-step formula on what exactly you can change in order to apply it to your business. Everyone's going to be talking about this mindset stuff in a very airy-fairy way. My goal with this video is to actually give it to you in an applicable sense that you can apply it to your business. So the first thing that determines what this channel actually is your vision. So what is it that you focus on? What is it that you see? Do you look around you and all you see is that my leads are broke, or this thing is broke, or that thing is broke, right? And so the easiest way to understand what the green channel actually is how does the green channel view life? And so if, let's just say you are making $1 million a month right now, but it was just taking time for Stripe to process the payment and send it to your bank account, how would you view your current situation? How would you view the things that are happening to you? And so once you start to look at it like this, if let's just say a client cancels, or you lose a significant amount of money, you're not going to care because you're already making $1 million a month. And so for you, it doesn't matter. You're not really going to react. Versus the version of you who's making 10K a month and you get a bill for like 10K, you're like, oh my God, like I just lost all my money, whatever. And so you'll start to panic. You'll sort of feel all these sort of emotions. And the emotions are the things that kind of affect your actions. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm a very logical person. Respectfully, bro, you actually take action based on your emotions, and then you justify it with logic. Everybody knows this. If you're a marketer, you know this. People make decisions based on their emotions, and then they justify using logic. And so everybody takes action based on their emotions. And so it's the same thing with you. If you're a guy, if you're on the red guy, if you're on the red essentially wavelength and frequency, you're going to have emotions that of the red person. If you're on the green frequency and the way you view your life and the situations that happen to you are like the green guy, then you're going to experience the green guy's emotions. And so therefore, you're going to get the green guy's results. You're going to get that sort of actions. You're going to take the same sort of actions that he would take in that scenario, and then you would reach the same exact results. The second part of it is your identity. So how do you view yourself? A lot of people view themselves in a very negative manner. A lot of people talk really bad about themselves under the guise or under the mask that I'm just being humble. I'm just being very cautious of not talking about myself. I want to ask you a question. If you were making $1 million a month, how would you view yourself? How would you talk about yourself to other people? How would you present to yourself to other people? Would you care about what other people think? All of these things I want you to think about. I want you to genuinely list them down. How does your green version of you, I want you to visualize that as color. Literally think of it as like a selfie version of you, like as if you're looking in a mirror, but the only difference is like they're colored differently. So how does that person actually view themselves? How does the green guy, when he looks in the mirror, he's like, oh, I see myself as a successful person. I am very confident in myself, etc., etc. And so therefore, because you have this identity, let's just go back to our initial thing. Because you have this identity, whenever you have the intuition, let's just say the red guy. And so this is also another thing that I want to mention to you guys. Those two other guys, the red and blue guys, when they see you, you're trying to like tap into the green guy, you're trying to become the green guy. They don't want to essentially stop existing, because once you tap into the green guy, these other two guys, they stop existing. They essentially, you're basically killing them. And so these guys, they don't want to die. And so they'll try and pull you down in it. They'll try and essentially trick you to get them to listen, to basically to get you to listen to them, to get you to have the same vision and the same identity, and then the same two other things I'm going to get to as the red and the blue guys. So your goal is to essentially hold this green guy for as long as possible. And so whenever you get the red or the blue guy, right, trying to tell you or trying to get you to take different actions, because you have the identity of the green guy, because you have the identity of the version of you who's making $1 million a month, you're gonna be like, no, I'm not the type of person who does XYZ. I'm not the type of person to do this sort of action that will bring me backwards and will get me to become the red guy or the blue guy again. It is really that simple. The third component of all of this is your body state, right? So a lot of people, this is very concerning. A lot of people, they don't treat their bodies kindly. They basically neglect their health in pursuit of money, in pursuit of, oh, I'm grinding hard on my business, I'm staying up late, I'm doing all this stuff. And I'll ask you this very simple question. The green guy, the person who you're trying to become, let me ask you a question. Are they genuinely doing all this stuff? Like, you're just doing too much. Who says that you need to be constantly staying up late and doing all this stuff, whatever? The version of you, the green guy, the green version of you, they're relaxed. They're just chill. They don't feel this stress and this tension that everybody's under. And I'll tell you this right now. The reason why you're going to be unable to switch from the red guy or the blue guy is simply because you're under too much stress. You're under too much tension. You want this, you need this to work. You need to hit this month, this much money, or you need to do XYZ thing in your business. And this is why you're unable to transform into the green guy. You need to be the green guy. You need to just be chill. You need to be this person right now. And then finally is your emotions. So are you currently feeling the same emotions as the green guy is feeling right now? So I want you to imagine, right? Imagine you are the green guy right now. Imagine you are the version of you who's making $1 million a month right now, and you have your dream lifestyle. You're doing everything that you want to essentially do. How would that feel like? What are your emotions? What are you feeling when you wake up? How do you feel in the morning? How do you do all of this stuff? Whatever your answer to that is, that's essentially how you need to be feeling right now. And so if you get these 4 components right, obviously I have a whole framework. I have a lot more information about this down below in the first link in the description. If you're the type of entrepreneur who listens to this and it's like, you know, this actually is going to take me to the next level, you're going to find the first link in the description very interesting. If not, then I just want you to think of what I said in this video and try to see how you can apply it to your life. I'm not going to be one of those YouTubers who thinks for you. That's like the worst thing that I can do for you. The best thing I can do for you is give you a principle like this and get you to think about it. Because if I just spoon feed you everything, then guess what? You're just going to be a mindless person consuming content. I don't want my audience. Listen, if this is you, I'm sorry. This channel, this whole thing is not for you. I want my audience to actually think for themselves. I want them to use their brain, to give their brain a chance to think about this and to actually process the information. The people who are gonna is like, oh, Yusuf, but how do I actually apply this to my daily life? And this is not for you. You're too low level, and you're never going to break through until you understand this one thing, which is like, you need to use your brain. Apply what I told you in this video and get the hell off YouTube. Just start taking action like right now.